What's going on, guys? It's been a while. I shaved my beard. SEMA is all done, so that's out of the way, and now I can focus on making some more videos. So I'm in my truck right now, heading down to Colorado Springs, which is about 2 hours away from where we live. Maybe 3. Yeah, it's about 3 hours. But I am heading down to pick up S13 240SX, and I am showing you guys how to make money parting out cars. It's a big thing we do at our business. Great way to make money. Or if you already have you already got a car and you're trying to sell and you can't, so just part it out, and I'm gonna show you how. All right, so we're back at the shop now, and it's been a few days, quite a few days.
It's my birthday.
It's Corey's birthday now. Say happy birthday, because he cares about that. But here's what the car looks like now. I will slap some pictures right here of what the car looked like before, and this is where we're at now. And I will say, you may or may not be able to get the car to here, just based on like where you live, what you have available, all kinds of other stuff. And we're actually going to go further than this.
Wait, what? We're going further?
Yeah. I got somebody who's buying the front clip, so I have to cut it off like right here. He's already coming to buy that. Also, I'm not really going to mention prices in this video because 240 prices vary a lot. Every car price varies a lot just because economy and desirability and whatever else. So we picked this car up. It had an SR20 DET red top. The seller told me it had low compression on cylinder 1, so I didn't even start the car because I knew there would be some sort of problem. We got it back here, put a scope in cylinder 1, and there was melted piston. Not a big deal for what we're doing because I tore the motor down, and basically we end up with almost as much money tearing it down as we would selling it in a complete, a complete swap. One thing, cleanliness. Before you pull the car in your shop, garage, whatever you have, pressure wash under it, over it, in it, everywhere. Depending on what interior stuff you have, you can literally pressure wash the inside if it's dusty and dirty. Pressure wash the engine bay. Bring your trailer through a fucking car wash if you have to, if you don't have your own pressure washer. Just get it really clean, and clean parts are easier to sell and worth more. You don't get your hands super dirty. It's easier to stay organized. It's better in general. What do you got, Corey?
Also, after you pressure wash it and you get the car put wherever you're going to start disassembling it, buy a big can of PB Blaster, go around on all of the subframe bolts, the brakes, suspension, pretty much
any bolt that's on the underside, however you're going to do it, whether you reach under there on a creeper, jack stand to get it up on your lift.
Do it before you even start, because then that'll have time for everything to soak. It'll make your life 100 times easier taking everything apart.
Every bolt's got to come out, sort of. I will get to that. But every bolt can't hurt to put PB Blaster on. And PB Blaster isn't like dirty or greasy. It's just a little oily. But my next point is depending on where you live, what you're doing, how you're doing this. This is for the smaller shop people and the people doing it at their house. I think doing this at an apartment's impossible. Unless you're in the garage, but that would kind of suck. So we tear it down and we cut the sheet metal, and we got these really tall racks where we can put the roof, we can put the front clip, the rear clip, the quarter panels, side skirts. We can throw them up on our shelves and they're fine. They do take up space, so you got to factor that in to make sure it's worth it. But you need to get rid of some stuff. We generally don't keep the interior floor because that's not a part that gets replaced very often, if really ever. So we have a forklift. which is awesome. We can pick up whatever we have remaining, and we usually post it on Craigslist on the free section, and we're like free scrap metal. And some dude comes in a really shitty pickup truck, and he's super happy. We give him a few £100 worth of scrap. But you need to factor that in. If you don't have a way to store it and do that, I may kind of recommend, you won't make as much money, but you can leave the subframes in as much or as little as you want, and sell it as a rolling shell. Or the next step down would be selling it as a complete bare shell, which is what I'm doing right now with an S14. Again, you don't make as much money as you would cutting it up, but it saves me time and it saves me space, which we're kind of running low on space here. So, like, you can see there is a clutch master cylinder here, which actually is not a factory clutch. That's a weird clutch master cylinder. I don't know what that's from. But generally, we don't salvage. There's a fuel filter right there. Clutch master cylinder. Clutch slave cylinder. This is sometimes worth a little bit of money, but it's not that big of a deal. But any part that's consumable and replaceable, you can buy it from AutoZone. We don't pull off because somebody will pay $12 for this.
Or things that are way too big. Like, I don't know if you can. How easy is this move? Sorry.
You can
I suck at I was gonna point at the fuel lines right there.
Oh yeah.
So basically, the fuel lines on these run from here, and they go all the way to the back of the car by the gas tank, obviously. Something like this, like fuel lines on a car, basically they never really, unless it
rusts out. But
yeah,
unless
it's rusted out, but that's not really common. But something this large, if you would imagine having to put, because the average person usually in your town that has a 240 or something is pretty much never going to have to replace the actual metal fuel lines on their car. So trying to put that in
they're
one
about
13
foot long.
10 to 13 foot long,
and you can't really
FedEx
ship
box.
Those. Yeah, you can't really ship those,
Yeah.
and storing them sucks.
You would have to bend them to fit them in like a tubular box or something. And it would just be so much of a pain to ship them, it's not even really worth keeping that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Next thing is storage. We have these shelves, which came from Toys R Us. Really cool. But you can buy them from online auctions. I've gotten a few over there. Pretty good deals. I found some on Craigslist for free somehow. Don't expect to be able to do that. I used to have these shelves that I built out of 2x4s and plywood, and they worked really well, but they were only about this tall, whereas these are 10 to 14-ish foot tall. So these have a lot more storage than the old ones, but I also have a lot more parts than I used to have. And to do one car, you can usually fit one car's worth of stuff on 2 of these shelves, which are 4x8. So 2 4x8 shelves, you can make your own shelf that's 2 foot by 4 foot and 4 racks high. But you need to be able to store your parts, and you need to be able to organize your parts. And that's only for if you're fully tearing the car down and not tearing the car down as you go. Because if you tear the car down, somebody's like, yo, I need this part, and you pull that part, and you don't need to worry about storage. But otherwise, you do need to worry about storage, and you do need to worry about being organized. Because I have no idea of the actual number, but typically when I part a car out, I end up with probably around 100 or 200 individual listings on my eBay store. So it adds up really quick. And we always reorganize these. Right now I got WRX parts like right here and right here. Right now the 240 parts are pushing their way this way, and I'm selling WRX parts. And then maybe if we part out a couple WRX parts or WRXs and sell 240 stuff, we'll push back. But everything's always constantly being reorganized because we constantly have more or less of some things or other things. So it gets...
Yeah, what's your reason for, you always, post big parts locally?
Oh, okay.
For, local pickup and stuff versus, just posting every little thing locally.
Yep. So that's a good point. So like let's see, I just parted out this S14. It had a set of Varstone wheels with brand new tires. I posted those locally for $700-ish, right around there. I could have posted them on eBay for slightly more than that, but you have to remember those would need freight shipped. Freight shipping is kind of expensive, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. So stuff like that is generally easier to sell locally.
Yeah.
And more profitable, really.
Yeah. And usually, if you do take things off the car, like wheels or like a whatever set of coilovers, or say it has like an NRG quick release and wheel and stuff, that there's like 1,000 of those on eBay already.
Yeah.
If you sell that stuff locally, usually if you have it decently priced and you're not trying to like get a crazy amount of money, like eBay prices for them essentially.
Yeah.
Because when you sell locally, it's always way cheaper than eBay prices.
You also got to remember on eBay you have eBay fee, PayPal fee, and shipping, which I will give you some tips on shipping in a bit. But there is nothing I can do about PayPal and eBay fees. They fucking suck.
Yes, they do.
About 11% of your sales go to fees, which hurts.
But also, when you sell a lot of the big parts like that locally, you can usually get rid of those parts fairly fast if you sell them at a fair price, like I was saying.
Yeah.
But then you immediately start making money back off the car. So, for example, if we buy a car for $1,500, it has a $100 NRG setup on it, a $500 set of wheels, and say like a couple racing suits that we sell for $400. We've already made back more than half of the money we spent on the vehicle.
If not all of it.
If not all of it.
Depending
most
on
of the
brands
time.
and stuff. Yep.
And once you can sell this stuff quickly and you've already made your money back, the rest of it's just, profit from that point.
Yep. Yeah, excellent point. All right, so now there are two different options for how you can sell the parts. Well, I guess sort of three, but really there's locally and there's online. Locally would be Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace and all the Facebook groups relevant to your market. So there's a ton of S-Chassis Facebook groups that I'm in. I bought an RX-8 recently. There's like 2 Facebook groups for that, which kind of sucks.
You have 2?
What?
I only get one Facebook group for an FRS.
Oh, there's one Facebook group for an FRS that he's found. So it really just depends on your market. There's 1 million for S-Chassis, 1 million for WRXs, depending on where you're at. But yeah, so if you're going to be selling online, you're going to have to ship things. So you're going to need paint markers, and these are just for organization on your shelves. And get these from Walmart. They are oil-based paint markers, and a white one and a black one, because sometimes you're going to have to write on dark parts, and sometimes you're going to have to write on light parts. So you need both. And then on which market to sell them on, basically you're going to get more money by selling them on eBay, even though it might not be as quick. People locally, you don't need to bother with shipping, which is a big pain in the ass. And it'll be kind of easier and quicker at first. And then you're going to end up with a bunch of parts that nobody locally wants, and they're going to get pissed off that you keep posting the ads over and over. So kind of a mix of both is what I do. And that gets me a good market, and it lets me sell all my parts quickly. Next thing is shipping. So you can see right here I got a few boxes. On top of my bathroom, there is 1 million boxes. If you're doing this, I hope that you're a car guy and you're not just some cuck. So you're a car guy, you buy car parts, they come in boxes. So you're going to take your box that you just got car part in, and you're going to throw it in a big pile, a somewhat organized pile, but probably not very organized because it's really impossible to do that. And you're going to save it for when somebody buys something from you. You can also buy boxes from a couple places like Uline and eBay, which is, I got some eBay boxes. Oh, those little guys up there. But buying boxes is kind of expensive. They could be like $5 a piece, which really adds up. Takes a big bite off your profit. Got something from Corey.
Yep. You can go on USPS.com, make an account, and you can order as many boxes as you want for free.
Yes, which is that white box right there. A couple things about that. Oh wow, my tripod just got mad. A couple things about that. They don't have very many big options. I think the biggest option, square-wise, they have is 12 by 12 by 8 inches tall. So you're really limited. You can stack boxes, which is what I just showed you right there, and tape them together. And it's almost as good as a regular box, unless it's a heavy package, and then it's kind of unsafe. And then I got this thing right here, which is a packing peanut dispenser. If you're selling a lot of stuff, probably not watching this video anyways, but you squeeze this, I'm out of packing peanuts right now, but you squeeze that and it drops packing peanuts into your box. Okay, my girlfriend just said, or into your mouth. There's these packing peanuts, hold on. Okay, so these packing peanuts, they look like white cheddar Cheetos. And they are biodegradable, and they're actually made with something similar to what Cheetos are made with.
They're made out of corn.
Yeah, they're made out of corn. So you can actually eat them.
They just kind of dissolve.
Yeah, they just kind of dissolve in your mouth. So, anyways, now that we're done with that. Huh?
Why didn't you eat one?
She eats them more often.
I do eat them.
So, but yeah, that's a packing peanut dispenser. And then right behind it, I have that roll of purple craft paper, which is a great packing material. But if you're still on the low end of things, which is what I did for a long time, oh, well, there's tires in the way. But I have a box of packing material that I take from when I get packages. I just throw the packing material in there. And if you're not doing a whole lot of quantity and you're buying a lot of car parts, you could generally, even it out.
Free tidbits newspapers.
Oh, yep. Free tidbits newspapers.
Yeah, when you go to gas stations and you have the...
Or my buddy...
You should move your mouth when I talk over here so it looks like you're talking. But you can go to a gas station and you can basically just grab a couple stacks at every gas station you stop at randomly of like the free advertisement newspapers and stuff and use those to pack parts. It's free.
Yes. And I used to have a buddy in Florida who worked at a gas station, and he gave me like all of like the leftover newspapers, and I still have those from like 5 years ago, because he gave me so many of them. So I still use those when I really, really need it, and I run out of my other stuff, because I'm out of packing peanuts right now, and those take a few days to get here. So, yeah, a lot of stuff with shipping, and then I also have a scale to weigh the packages. I have this thing here. Which is the plastic banding thing, which helps for heavier packages, but is totally unnecessary for anything less than like 20 pounds. Good tape dispenser is 100% necessary, and a whole lot of tape in bulk off of Amazon. We're going through a lot of shit. We're covering all of it today. You guys are getting the hookup, honestly.
Yeah, you're telling everybody our secrets on how to
Yeah.
make a bunch of money.
It's funny. It's fine though. I got you guys. Oh yeah, and the craft paper comes from Amazon. The packing peanuts come from Office Depot. You can get them from Amazon, but it's cheaper from Office Depot for some reason. And the only reason I'm telling you guys all this is because I assume I lost most of you already, and most of you are going to be too lazy to do this. But if I can help out a few of you, I don't really care, because there's plenty of money to go around, and plenty of people need used parts for every car, including me. I need used parts for cars that I don't part out. So let me get some of those parts, dog. All right, and that is all for this video. I hope I covered everything. If you have any questions, just ask. I know the video was kind of all over the place, but I was trying to cover a lot of information in kind of a short amount of time. If I get a lot of questions, I'll make a follow-up video and answer those and get everything figured out. But yeah, shoot me a message, leave a comment if you need any help, or just drop a like if I helped you out.